Up, chocolatiers, and welcome to a review of A Working Man. Now, A Working Man stars Jason Statham and is directed by David Ayer. Now, David Ayer, I'm going to go on and say it, he's cooking with Jason Statham. I believe they did Beekeeper last year, or was that last year? Maybe 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. And from the jump of this movie, right, I just want to go and get you started, get you ingrained into how this movie sets up exactly what kind of movie it's going to be. It has like an old 80's fucking intro with like these title cards and shit. And it's like the craziest thing ever because it's literally like very reminiscent of like a Rambo or like a something like that. Maybe like The Last Action Hero, some shit. And then literally it says, oh, screenplay and produced by Sylvester Stallone. I was like, what the fuck? So dude, I'm already in the intro. I'm like, bro, we're cooking already. Okay, it's just the title cards, right? Nobody's even showed up. And so basically the plot of this movie is was kind of crazy because, you know, it's a little challenging topic to tackle. You know, Taken did when Liam Neeson did, and he was like, let's make like 15 of these. But this movie is basically about Jason Statham, he served in the UK military for like 20-something years. They don't really say what branch he was, I don't think, but he's just in the military. And long story short, now he's over here in the United States. His wife killed herself because she was dealing with depression one day when he was deployed. And so the grandfather pretty much has sole custody of his daughter. And he can see her once a week for like, I think 2 hours or something. And so long story short, he's living in his vehicle, trying to save more money so he can pay these lawyers for that. And while doing this, he is pretty much like the head worker at this job site, working for Michael Pena's character and his wife. And their daughter one night goes to a party, and I don't think they really show her drink or anything like that, but she basically ends up getting kidnapped by these two individuals who's working with the mob, Russians, all that kind of stuff like that. And they're tossed her into sex trafficking. And it's kind of crazy. It's kind of wild, and I was like, I'm in it for this plot, man. I said, let Jason Statham kill these sick motherfuckers. And that's what you get, right? That's exactly what this movie is. That's exactly what you fucking get, okay? I would actually only say that my sole complaint with this movie, I'm just going to get this out of the way, is that, so the movie kind of sets you up with giving you, okay, this is who he is. You know, he's a working man. And like, you know, of course, you know, like, right, because he's in the military, and, you know, that's all they really say. He can just beat everybody's ass, right? Like, you know, 15 dudes in a room, he can beat everybody's ass. It's like, okay, these people have guns, just fucking shoot them, right? But, you know, you gotta suspend your disbelief. It's like I said, it's like an old 80's action movie, and it's awesome, okay? And so, long story short, you know, I think my one complaint with it is that kind of in, like, the middle, after he has taken out some people and it's like really cool and all this other stuff like that, it kind of takes like a halt because he's doing a lot of investigations to the point where I was like, what is this motherfucker's plan? And like he just kept like, oh man, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this, we're doing that, and it was like a bunch of like unfortunately I gotta say this, I know I'm a movie reviewer and this sounds awful, it's a lot of talking. I was like, where's the ass whoopings? I promise you, I think this movie's 2 hours. There's like a clean 30 minutes. Maybe even more. Where I was like, is he gonna fight somebody? Or like, trying to see some action. And I feel like that slowed down the pacing a lot. Because you get some action sequences, and even at the beginning where you're really not getting action sequences, because like you really don't get any action. You just get like the intro to this world where like these guys are beating up somebody on a job site and he like beats their ass or whatever. So that's like a quick action scene. But you really get the meat and bones because of the story, because you're like, okay, what's going on with this girl? What's happening with that? And once that kind of dies down, you're kind of like, okay, well, I'm in it. I'm ready for him to do his thing. That's when I feel like the movie goes, no, we're actually going to slow down. And it almost kind of slowed down to like a point where they're trying to do like a John Wick, where they're trying to set up this world. So they're like, these are the bosses, these are this, these are that. Here's two random guys going to show up that are dressed like fucking anime characters. And, you know, clearly they're in a different league because they're dressed differently. And it's just shit like that where I was like, no, I don't need you to set up this world. I need Jason Statham to beat these motherfuckers' asses. That's all I want. And so after that little gap, that's what you get. Final fight scene is a fucking banger. The action, the set pieces are fucking cool. David Harbour in this movie, I thought he would do a little bit more, but at the same time, like, when the movie was wrapping up, I was like, man, he didn't need to do shit. His character was so awesome. He plays this character named Gunny, who basically is kind of like the Yoda to Jason Statham, which is funny because Jason Statham kind of elaborates that, you know, I don't know if he was like over him, but like they were like on the same squad or some shit. And he's like his Yoda, dude. He's like blind, and he's just sitting there, and he's like, yes, you killed him. And I thought it was the funniest shit. I also think it's funny that David Harbour, outside of Stranger Things, is pretty much a comedic actor. He's funny as hell as Red Guardian, and in this, like I said, he was basically Red Guardian without the accent. And so, I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like, even though Jason Statham, like, technically plays in the same movie every time, it's not like a Liam Neeson where it's a bad movie. Like, the plots are always different. There's always cool shit. Like, for example, costume designs in this were fucking crazy. Set pieces were kind of crazy, especially that last one. I really also loved how they just, for example, they have the girl that gets kidnapped. She's not like a damsel in distress. She's like biting people's cheeks off. She's fighting motherfuckers. She's kicking people out of cars. She doesn't give a shit. And, you know, a lot of times in movies like this, you know, like they're crying, they won't do shit, this and that. I know this bitch is like, okay, if I don't do anything, I'm gonna probably fucking die, right? She's like, because Jason's like, you know, investigating, you know, he's doing his thing for the 30-minute gap. But yeah, this movie was a fucking banger, man. If you liked Beekeeper, there's no reason you will not like this film. Definitely go out and support it, check it out, because apparently nobody's supporting the theaters right now because everything's flopping. But you didn't want to support Novocaine. This is a close second. I don't like this as much as Novocaine, but like I said, this is definitely a close second. I'm gonna give, I almost said The Beekeeper, A Working Man, a 8.5 out of 10. Very solid film, very solid action flick. It has a few caveats, a few things where, you know, especially like when you get the R rating, you expect to see some crazy shit, but for the most part, I really thought this movie was PG-13. They don't show anything super crazy that I can remember. There's like one death that's kind of like, oh shit. That's kind of it though. Everything else is like, oh, I'm shooting people. And I was like, okay, I've seen this in any other movie. But outside of that, David Ayer was cooking. You know, I know he sucked with his Suicide Squad movie. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. But, you know, for what that was worth, that was studio interference. Ever since then, he's been fucking cooking. And don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on Jason Statham, because this was a fun time at the theaters. And with that, if you want to have a fun time, and like and subscribe, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this film. We would like to see you join. I don't know why I keep saying we. It's me. I would like to see you join. Thank you. And with that, I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Those bricks. You ain't a cop. You're a working man.
That's right. Let's play.
I love my popcorn. Movies, popcorn.